What day is
What?
it today? I'm like, geez, man. I was like, is it Wednesday already? Yeah, it is. Felt like Tuesday still.
Remember that commercial, the Hump Day commercial?
Yeah, with the damn camel from back in the day. Yeah. Hey, man, it rained really good over here. I don't know if you all got any rain out there.
I heard. No rain in Conroe, but I think it's coming today.
Yeah, man, we got some really bad lightning and I guess some really loud thunder here. Woke everyone up middle of the night. I was asleep. I was dead asleep. And Jonathan Pettis is already joining us. What's up, Jonathan? And Hooper Flash. ¿Qué onda? What's up? Oh, I'm giving shout out today to our boy Cuts by Jones. I'm wearing this cap today.
Good looking cap, dude.
Yeah.
You know, Chica really likes the Texican caps by Texas Frank.
Chica. She needs one that says Texas Chica. And Hooper Flash says he's sending some cards to Leha. Dude is a goat. And we got some things to talk about. Sohan working out. Spurs announced official draft party. NBA Finals happening today as well.
We're 2 weeks from the NBA draft, by the way, today.
Yeah, officially. Got to decide what you're going to do. I need to get a new Texican hat.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast coming at you. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. We go for about an hour and a half or so talking sports, pop culture, nostalgia. Lots of Spurs talk today. Got the Wemby jersey on because out of nowhere, we got brand new video of Jeremy Sohan shooting buckets, right? He is training in the offseason while we have Wemby going out and hanging out with monks. Sohan in the gym trying to correct a broken shot. We're going to show video of that in a moment. We're 2 weeks away also from the NBA draft, which is going to take place on the 25th. Spurs holding on to the number 2 and 14 pick in the draft. New mock draft released today by ESPN. We'll get into that. NBA Finals Game 3 tonight. A very pivotal game. And I'm sorry, I'm still saying Thunder in 5, Joe. Still saying Thunder in 5. We had a viewer call out Joe on the YouTube replay yesterday. We'll talk about that.
Calling me a Wemby hater.
And as far as like the whole Kevin Durant thing, something has changed, Joe. Something has changed because the odds makers at DraftKings Sportsbook are now looking at the Spurs going, not only are the Spurs the favorite to land Kevin Durant, they're now the heavy favorite. Is it because of Bill Simmons on the Ringer coming out and saying that he thinks that it's already a done deal? Is it because the Giannis sweepstakes is not going to happen at all and he's staying with the Bucks? What is causing this for casinos to say that the Spurs have leapfrogged, right? This time last week, it was number 1 odds was the Houston Rockets. Number 2 was him returning back to Milwaukee. Number 3 was the Spurs. A month ago, the Spurs were number 6 or 7, according to the sports books. And as of this morning, odds-on favorite to get Kevin Durant. We'll talk about that. Sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. You know, our girl Sydney Sweeney gained 30 pounds, by the way, for a movie role. We good with that? We cool with that? I found it's a sports role, Joe. It's me, Chrissy Martin.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. What, are you going to call her obese now?
Well, it's kind of like homeboy Chris Leha calling her Midney. Back in the day.
Were you making fun of my girl BB Rexa, calling her obese? BB's looking good, bro.
Kind of is, dude. Our chat is powered by MCS General Contracting. If you want to be part of the show, you can leave a comment. We already see several people already in the mix. Jonathan Pettis, Hooper Flash, Tex-Mex Frank, Matt Gomez, Jonathan C., Mexican Junior, Chris Gonzalez, Sith Elias, all already in the
We got
house.
Tex-Mex Frank in the house here, and he's saying, I have a Chica cap. It was like $25. Call it even. There you go, Mike.
There you go. Boom, dude. It's so funny because I didn't even realize Tex-Mex Frank was in the chat when I said that. I just turned on the chat on my end just a second ago. But I've gone to the beach wearing the Texican hat, both in Jamaica and in Galveston. And Chica always looks at me and goes, I like that hat. Right. So I got that black one and I got the brown one. Looks good, man. It's a good looking cap. Her name's Chica, right? We call her Chica.
Look at Mexican Junior BB Rexa is hot as F. She has some nice baby feeders.
Well, she walks the fine line between thick with 2 C's and thick with a CK, dude. It's just, depends on the day, dude. Depends on the day.
Not at all. You just scared, Mike. It's all right. You can come over here. I'll take care of it.
So let's talk about sports real fast, man, because I find it interesting that Jeremy Sohan released new video. Okay, so before we get into the whole storyline, I just retweeted it, Joseph. If you want to go on it, and I got this from Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5, a 15-second video clip of Jeremy Sohan shooting buckets in an empty gym. So if we can go full screen on that, possibly. Yeah. Let's take a look at the form here, right? There's music, so you may want to. There you go. Knocks down jumper number 1, goes back, gets number 2, and then knocks down number 3. Okay. We do know that Sohan has a broken shot. What's that again?
It's all from the same damn spot on the court. You got to move around, brother.
Well, I understand that, but that's how you train. You want to get muscle memory from a particular position on the court. So I'm looking at it this way. Okay. First and foremost, as a Spurs fan, I want to be so wrong when it comes to Jeremy Sohan. I want everybody to point the finger at me like Nelson in The Simpsons and go, hey. I want them to be like that towards me because I want Sohan to be everything that his fans dream that he can be. At the end of the day, what was Sohan at the end of last year? Either hurt or the number 8 guy on the team, right? He wasn't even in the starting 5. He was just a dude, right? I respect the fact that he's in the gym working. Okay, as much grief as we give Wemby for going out there and hanging out with monks and all that stuff, and a lot of people love it. The Ringer gave him a bunch of accolades about it, saying, he could be at the club, but he's with the monks. I don't want them at the club. I don't want them with the monks. I want them in the gym.
Yeah, man.
Sohan hitting the gym. Now, the video he spent that he showed out on Twitter was 15 seconds long. Okay, I'm not exactly impressed by a 15-second clip. You know why, Joe? The last time we saw a 15-second clip, it was Mike Tyson training for the Jake Paul fight. Yeah. Okay? 15 seconds doesn't tell you anything. And by the way, there are no defenders in that particular video there. So let's go through Sohan's stats from the past couple of years. He's been with the team for a few years. He's in the final year of his rookie deal, and then he becomes a restricted free agent at that point. Jeremy Sohan, as a rookie, shot 24.6% from 3. Second year, jumped up to 30.8. Still bad, right? Because you want to be 35% or higher. I'd even go for 34% or higher, but 30.8. Third season, didn't shoot as many threes, was not asked to, still shot 30.8. So 24.6, 30.8, 30.8. He plateaued in year 3. Not a very good three-point shooter, okay? The question is, can he develop into one? This is a guy that shoots free throws one-handed. And I respect the fact that he's doing what he needs to do, Joe, because guess what's on the line, Joe?
What is
the money? He's in a contract year. He's going to want to get paid, if not by the Spurs, by somebody. So it's very important for him, Joe, to go out there and ball out this year. So I'm expecting good things from Jeremy Sohan this year. But as I tweeted this morning, Joe, and I'm going to ask you this question. Line in the sand. None of this moving the goalposts nonsense. Line in the sand. What constitutes a good season for Jeremy Sohan this upcoming season? Like, how do we define it? And on top of that, how much money is he worth if you want to keep him? because as a restricted free agent, he gets to go off and sign a contract elsewhere, bring
Yeah.
it back to the Spurs and say, here, you match it, I get to stay.
All he has to
So
do is be consistent. Be consistent. Don't be injured as much, help your team actually win. And winning doesn't always mean that you have to be out there chunking up all these shots and scoring 20 points a game. If you can get 8 to 10 points a game out of Jeremy, but he's getting you like 15 rebounds, 18 rebounds a game and doing all the little dirty work, going ahead, moving well without the ball, just playing to his strong suit, which is inside the paint. That's great. If he can knock down an open three here and there, even better. He just became a great role player for the San Antonio Spurs squad, and it's going to help spread the floor a little bit. That's all you can hope for out of Jeremy Sohan. But is he worth 17 to 20 mil? Absolutely not.
Well, I'm going to tell you the number one reason why he's not worth that. Number one reason has nothing to do with what's on the court. It's his ability to stay on the court. Jeremy Sohan, rookie season, missed 26 games. Second
Bad
season,
back.
missed 8. Last season, missed 28 again. So 26, 8, and 28. So he has missed essentially a fourth of his career due to injury.
Yeah, usually.
And on
it's
top of that, the
back-
Spurs actually play better when he's not there. And it's a weird thing because individually, he's a very good defender individually.
Oh, man.
But for some reason, when he's out there, Spurs have a worse losing percentage than when he's actually off the court.
Is he
Kinda weird.
detrimental to the team? Is that the better question to ask?
Well, is he a good fit next to Victor Wembanyama? Because that's the important thing. We got Sohan before we got Wemby. And everybody and their mama on Spurs Twitter, Spurs fans are like, they fit so well together. And I'm there going, what the F are you talking about?
They didn't fit so well.
I watched the exact same games. They don't work well together.
They didn't have a catchy nickname, Mike. Like Castle and Wemby, Area 51.
Area 51. Yeah, the Sohan Wemby should be like, I don't know, Alien and the Clown. I don't know, right?
Hey,
It's
we got
colorful hair.
Super chats we got to address here. So let me go ahead and address.
Well, yeah, we'll get to Drew's here because Drew is talking about you being a hater, and I want to get to that in a second. But
Okay.
The thing about Sohan though is the fact that he's an enigma, and part of it is not understanding what it takes to be successful and how to grade him.
Yeah.
There are a lot of players out there who they say do the things that don't count on the box score, right? I need Sohan to be a 15 point per game guy, an 8.5 rebound per game guy, a defensive lockdown kind of guy, and I want him, if he's going to shoot 3, to shoot 34%. Get me to 33.3. Can we do that? Can we go from 30.8 to 33.3? Meet me in the middle.
You can get guys like that right now in free agency that are just going to shoot threes, that are going to shoot it at a better clip than Sohan for less.
It kind of reminded me of, I want to get into that. I saw this sports analogy about the NFL talking about how the teams that develop the offense better are winning games in the NBA and the NFL. The NBA, you kind of need to have both. You need to have defense and offense, right?
Mm.
But Sohan shoots 30.8% from three the last 2 seasons with nobody guarding him, Joe.
And he's shooting those buckets right now with nobody guarding him in the gym.
Right. Nobody's guarding him. So if he starts making buckets, guess what's going to end up happening, Joe? People are going to step up to the line and put a hand in his face. And can he adjust at that point and shoot at a good clip doing that? I just look at Jeremy Sohan, and I want to be realistic about it. The realistic aspect of it all is that he's a flawed player. He's good defensively. Offensively, he can finish dunks. He can finish the break. But he is somebody that cannot be relied on to hit anything outside of 5 feet.
Yeah.
And how much is that really worth, Joe? And is he a good fit next to Wemby? Because I would argue that the opposite is true. I think he's detrimental to Wemby.
If he was a good fit next to Wemby, why are Sohan and Vassell being rumored to be put in this package for one Kevin Durant? Every time you hear these rumors coming through, if they're such a good fit, then why are they on the market?
Exactly. There's, I think part of it is, Joe, is that if the Spurs are going to sign De'Aaron Fox to an extension at the max or close to it, there goes part of the cap, right?
Yeah.
And there's only so much dollars to go around, and the Spurs eventually have to pay Wemby, eventually have to pay Castle. They're gonna pay De'Aaron Fox. They're eventually gonna have to pay Dylan Harper, and at some point, somebody is the odd man out. There's not enough dollars to go around in a small market salary cap situation. There's not enough dollars to go around. So who's the odd man out? Is it going to be Wemby? No. Is it going to be De'Aaron Fox? No. Is it going to be Castle? No. Is it going to be Harper? No. Who is it going to be? It's obviously going to be Jeremy Sohan. And Spurs fans can't wrap themselves around that yet, Joe. They look at that, they think to themselves, that can't happen. He's a fan favorite, but the math ain't mathing when it comes to keeping Sohan. Now, if you're going to keep him on a Trey Jones contract, 2 years, $20 million, like what he had before he got traded away, okay. But if you're going to get him on a Zach Collins deal, 2 years, $36 million, what if you get him at a Keldon deal, which is almost 3 years, $60 million? That's $20 million a year. What if a team like the Boston Celtics or the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Philadelphia 76ers come by and say, hey, we're going to offer you 23, 24, 25 million. At that point, guess what, Joe? He's not going to be around.
Yeah.
So maybe, just maybe, you get rid of him for what? To get something for him. He's just a dude offensively, man. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
That's why he was the 8th man on the team yesterday at the end of the season. And meantime, we're talking about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, DraftKings has the Spurs at plus 110 to land him, which basically means 50% chance. Odds-on favorite to get him. Houston, far behind.
Yeah.
Phoenix, far behind. You hear it now on ESPN, the radio, the TV. Everyone's kind of falling in line by going, you know what? The team he should go to is the San Antonio Spurs. Drew Show with a $5 super chat, Joe. What does he got to say?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
He goes, if my answers scare you viewers, quit asking Joe scary questions. He goes, Joe isn't a Wemby hater. He's a Wemby realist. Go walk the ERF, viewer.
So I bring this up because we were on yesterday talking about Wemby, and you were kind of going off a little bit, and there was a comment that was made. Let me see here. By I'm is Halu 7181 says Joe is low key a Wemby hater, and then Chris Orozco responded back with Joe is tripping. I'm going to like both of those comments right there. So,
Right.
Joe, the table's yours, man. Are you, in fact, a Wemby hater? I've been called a Sohan hater, Joe. So 2 questions. Are you a Wemby hater? Am I a Sohan hater, or am I a Sohan realist?
I think I'm just a Wemby realist. I think a lot of these fans look at the Spurs, especially Wemby, with their Spurs goggles on, their glasses on there. And they're like, oh, Wemby can do no wrong. Wemby can do no wrong. I want Wemby to be a great player. But if you're going to be generational, you're going to be named generational, you should be able to go ahead and compete with the best of the best. Wemby can't do that, at least not yet. He can look good, let's say, at other times when he's playing lesser talent. And that's fine and all. A win is a win. But at the end of the day, if you want to be crowned that generational talent, well, look at him. He's going to be the face of the league. Don't you have to shell out? Don't you have to show up in the big moments against the players that are the best of the best in these big games and not fold like a $5 chair? That's all I want to see out of Wemby. I want to see some dog out of him.
I am kind of somewhere in the middle, Joe, between what you're saying and my criticisms of Wemby. My criticisms of Wemby is the approach that the Spurs have taken towards him to allow him to dictate where he wants to be on the court. It's almost like they're trusting Wemby to understand or think that he knows better than the coaching staff or what conventional wisdom would say. He was 7'3" when he got drafted by the Spurs, and reports are he's 7'6" now. You're taller than everybody else. Get your ass inside. We're not asking you to be Hakeem Olajuwon, not asking you to be anything other than Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, and pick the ball up. What the hell are you doing putting the ball at your hip? Every time he does that, they slap it away from him. You're the tallest guy out there. Pick the ball up above your head and make your move to the basket.
Yeah. What's his
Easy.
biggest advantage? His height.
Right.
Then utilize that, and they're not letting
Height and
him.
length.
They're not forcing him to do that, Joe. And that's my thing. And part of it to me is, well, maybe it's because the whole pop issue and him going down with a stroke and whatnot. But at some point, he needs to realize that the team that is being built around him is not going to allow him to live on the outside forever and ever and ever. Amen.
No,
Now,
he
it
doesn't
was
like to get mad at him.
if
He
the
might
Spurs
move.
were drafting 9 and 14 the way they should have, or 8 and 14 the way they should have, then yeah, that's what you do. You know, you let Wemby play the perimeter. But when the Spurs won the number 2 pick in the draft, they have De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, the rookie of the year, and now you're going to have Dylan Harper. It changed everything, Joe. It's like, hey, we already got perimeter players. You're not needed up there anymore. You're needed more down low than anything else. And it kind of threw Sohan out of the mix as well. Because guess what? Guess what Castle knows how to do? Play defense. Guess what De'Aaron Fox knows to do? Well, he led the league in steals one time. Guess what Dylan Harper knows how to do? Play defense. And Wemby is going to be a defensive player of the year multiple times.
Yeah.
As long as he stays healthy, he will get that. So the idea that we got to keep Sohan because Sohan's such a good defensive player, well, guess what? We're developing a good defensive team all around. Now what we need are shooters, Joe. And guess what? Harper's a decent shooter. If Castle can develop a shot, oh my God, we're in a good position. Because I trust De'Aaron Fox down the stretch. He's Mr. Clutch.
Yeah.
I think that the team is changing, and it's going to force Wemby to modify what he's comfortable doing. What is he comfortable doing? Being Kevin Durant and going outside. And by the way, if the Spurs do get Kevin Durant, guess what? We don't need 2 of them.
Nope, don't. And we got another super chat coming in. We have some that we got to address here.
Here
Oh,
comes
yeah.
the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And this one's from Sam Salinas, and he goes, "Can we go a single show without throbbing on Sohan? Stop giving this dumb son of a bitch a pass. He sucks. Hold him to the same standard as Vassell." Appreciate that, Sam Salinas. Calling you out, Mike. He's saying you're throbbing for Sohan.
Am I?
You're throbbing for Sohan.
Jordan Schneider reaches out. By the way, my chats were not loading, so they just now populated right now. Jordan reaches out and says, "Put Sohan in a KD trade so they don't have to give up a second pick. Gonna have to cut salaries at some point, anyways." Eric Salinas, who's a good friend of the show, he's on Spurs Twitter. He said that if you give up Sohan, you're giving up the equivalent of a first rounder because Sohan was a number 9 pick in the draft 4 years ago. I mean, I get it, but that's a little bit dramatic, right? If you were the number 9 pick in the draft and you're the number 8 player on a losing team, you're not a lottery player, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and give that up, right?
Look at this $1.99 super chat from Greg Castanuela. This was pretty funny. He liked your catchphrase.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
He says, "Here's to the epic duo, the alien and the clown."
Okay, the clown reference was to the colorful hair, right? Clowns have colorful hair. Okay, that's what the reference was. I used to work at a McDonald's. Ronald McDonald has red hair, and sometimes Sohan has colorful hair, which is all the time.
El payaso.
Fuchsia, whatever. You know, okay, so Wemby showing up bald, I hope he shows up bald for the start of the season. Like, seriously, I want his ass bald for the season. And I want Sohan to come out with original hair, dude. Just look like a normal dude.
Look at this
Right.
what the Drew Show is saying. He says, "Did you see Castle his shooting coach putting brooms in front of Castle's face? Now you look at Jeremy, see the difference."
Well, I mean, you know, it's funny when you look at Stephon Castle's play. His percentage is not good. It's not a broken shot. It's confidence. He is so confident all over the court, running the break, transition D, playing against superstars. But you give Castle the ball beyond 20 feet, and he hesitates. And it's that hesitation. It's not a broken shot. It's pure confidence that's lacking from Castle on those 3-point shots. And you know why? You can tell because when he shoots, sometimes he holds the forearm until the ball clanks off the rim. Like, he doesn't just shoot the ball and then just backtrack, right? He doesn't have any confidence when it comes to it all. And I find that to be a little bit concerning when it comes to Castle. Castle, though, is very, very, very young. I found it interesting, Joe. I saw a soundbite. And let me see if I retweeted it. I didn't find it. Oh, my goodness.
Look at this. We got another super chat from Rudy G incoming here.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
He says, Sohan needs to watch Rodman film. 10-plus rebounds, 1.5 steals, 1 block. And he goes, and then Akas, he says, I don't know what it is. Iron Lover Bowen, otherwise, bye-bye.
Do we want that? I mean, when I hear him being called Draymond Green, is that really basketball in the year 2025?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not exactly excited when I hear that, by the way.
Sam Salinas, I wear Sohan hater label with pride. F Sohan.
So the NBA draft is in 2 weeks. I just posted on my on my Twitter account, Joe, a soundbite from Steph Curry.
Okay.
Future Hall of Famer Steph Curry. One of the 10 to 12 best players of NBA history, Steph Curry. And guess what they asked him about, Joe?
What they ask him about?
They asked him about the guys from Rutgers, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. Spurs more than likely 99.99999% chance of drafting Dylan Harper number 2 overall in the draft. Guess who they've been working out with, Joe? They worked out against Steph Curry. So Curry gave his reaction, and if you can go onto my Twitter account, gave his reaction as to what it's like to play up against Harper, play up against Ace Bailey, who are projected to go number 2 and 3 in the NBA draft.
Yeah. Look at people standing up for Wemby here. Black Bucket saying, Joe Wemby is already top 10. He couldn't dominate because of the stamina issue with the clot. He isn't a paint player. He's a hybrid, generational because he's KD, not Yao Ming. I'm like, all right, keep that same thought process.
I would hope that he's not Yao Ming. I mean, Yao Ming is somebody who had bad feet.
Yeah, he had bad feet because he was so tall and so big. He weighed a lot.
And by the way, Wemby's not a top 10 player yet. He will be.
Yeah.
He's not a top 10 player. Wemby is probably somewhere in the range of 13 through 16, 13 through 18. The defense gets him higher.
Yeah, but even healthy
than
Wemby,
most.
even a healthy Wemby this coming season, he's going to have trouble trying to go ahead and go up against the best of the best in the NBA. He still has to learn some things.
Yeah, I mean, who are the better players? Well, Tatum, Embiid, Giannis, Jokic. You can go on and on and on. You can name 10 players pretty easily. SGA. You can name a lot of Kevin Durant. You can name a lot of players before you get to Wemby's name. Wemby's not a top 10 player. Giannis.
Joker.
Mm-hmm. Tatum.
Yeah.
You keep going. Keep going down the list. Luka Doncic. You could even say LeBron James. But Joe, if you can go to my Twitter account, Joe,
sure.
There's a soundbite from Steph Curry. Steph Curry talking about what it's like to play against Dylan Harper, what it's like to play against Ace Bailey, projected to go number 2 and 3 overall in the NBA draft. Found to be interesting what he has to say.
There we are. We'll go ahead and get the audio spooled up.
It was especially those 2 guys individually. Obviously, they're super talented, but talent can only take you so far. Like, what's your mentality about how much better can you get? How hard do you work? Are you coachable? Like, stuff like that. And they showed that. Dylan was funny because I think he guarded me in a couple the pickup runs we had. I might not have scored on him. And I think he was mic'd up for something, and I think he knew he was counting my stats, a little matchup. But like, you love that competitiveness because they're there to get better. Those 2.
Wait a minute. Dylan Harper clamped down on Steph Curry in a practice at a warm-up game, Joe.
Yeah.
How excited are you to hear, Joe? Because I'm pretty excited. Because we saw last year LeBron James come out and say, hey, that Stephon Castle kid, and this was midway through the season when he wasn't rookie of the year favorite at that point. He goes, that Castle kid can play. And now we're hearing from Steph Curry going, man, Dylan Harper is hyper competitive. And he's known for his offensive skill set, but defensively was able to clamp down, even though it was a practice scrimmage, to clamp down on Steph Curry. And Steph Curry going, dude, is this guy counting stats? That gets me excited about the Dylan Harper era in the city of San Antonio.
We do have another super chat that came in from the Drew Show. We're getting a lot of super chats today. We got to keep up. Mike.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So Drew Show says, rookie D-Rob showed out against Hakeem, Ewing, Jordan, Timmy. He showed out against Shaq, Kobe, Malone, etc. Wemby. He says, Wemby, he goes, Davis dropped 40 and 20, Embiid 70 points. So he's just saying.
No, I get that, but David Robinson was also 24 years old when he first laced him up for the Spurs. I mean, we have to give Wemby that, right? Wemby's 21 years old with 2 years experience with the Spurs. Robinson had 4 years at the Navy and 2 years of a naval commitment, right?
Yeah.
So he was a 24-year-old grown-ass man when he came into the league. And also, one of the things about David Robinson that we need to talk about, Joe, the physique of David Robinson.
Oh, man.
Not only was he a grown-ass man, the dude was a walking Greek statue walking in onto an NBA court.
Man, Mike, we got a big one coming in from
I saw
Jason Garcia, man.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
There you go. You can go ahead and read this one, Mike.
Yeah, Jason Garcia
Super chat.
from the Pacific Northwest coming in with $20, man. We love the support from everybody today, this week, and all time. But, man, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, Jason. Says, Jeremy Sohan is the last pick at a G League pickup game. He's the old dark underwear that the dad changes out every Father's Day. I wouldn't trade a fleet of garbage trucks for him. Best to let him go like a stray cat.
Stray cat.
Like a stray cat. By the way, now I got stray cat strut in my head. I hope we're wrong. I don't know what to say. I just hope that we're all wrong about Jeremy Sohan when it's all said and done. But it's a contract season. And it's amazing, Joe. You have all of these players who kind of just go through the motions all through year 1 and 2 of their deal. But suddenly, when there's a contract season, guess what, Joe? Best shape of their lives, right? Yeah. Suddenly, they're hitting the gym in a certain way. They're refining skills. Look at Luka Doncic right now with the Lakers. Have you seen video of him recently?
No.
He's never been that skinny.
They probably took the tea away from him.
They took the sweet tea away from him. They took away the Budweiser and gave him Michelob Ultra. And now he looks fit, which has got to piss off the people in Dallas. Wouldn't you be pissed off?
Oh, well, they have too many good places to eat here in Texas. They probably had him eating some Texas barbecue, sipping on sweet tea.
Yeah.
Like eating all that greasy, fatty food. I mean, Dallas wasn't a good fit for Luka, and he's drinking beer like crazy. He's probably smoking cigarettes in the back somewhere. Come on. He's European.
But as Jason was alluding to, Sohan saying that he wouldn't trade a fleet of garbage trucks for him. It's funny because about a year ago, 2 years ago, 99% of Spurs fans were super optimistic about the guy. And I was the one guy called an a-hole, called a jerk. James Pledger, San Antonio Sports Star, would give me crap all the time that I was insensitive and I was impatient and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, I see what I see, man. When they're like, hey, he's the next Draymond Green, he's the next Dennis Rodman. I'm like, okay, great. Are we playing in the 80s and 90s?
What did Pledger call you? What did Pledger call you?
You an idiot.
No, he called you.
Say it again.
You moron.
So I looked at it and I think Draymond Green, by the way, would never be a Hall of Fame player if it wasn't for Steph and Clay and KD. Never. He would simply be just a dude for any other team. There's not one person who's been a carry-on, a +1, if you will, into the Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts, like Draymond Green. Draymond Green played for the Houston Rockets, Phoenix Suns. He would just be a dude. Wouldn't even be an all-star. He'd just be a dude.
Hey, we got another super chat incoming. We got to keep up with these super chats because they're coming in fast and furious.
Here comes
Nice.
the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Okay, sorry, I read Sam Salinas' first, but Black Bucket in for $10. Says Spurs talk equals cash money on Area 210. Insert complaint about Spurs player here. Response, you don't know ball. Great show, boys.
You know what? We need to get a shirt that says that or a sticker. And
You
it
don't know
says,
ball.
You don't know ball.
Where's Bear County Social Apparel when we need it? Mike Baez.
Oh, man.
Okay, so my favorite is you don't know ball.
Yeah.
And the second one is, well, we wouldn't have gotten Wemby. Oh my God. That needs to be retired right now. I was talking to somebody about that on Twitter. I was going back and forth with somebody. And you and I, for many, many months, have talked about the fact that Brian Wright, we trust him when it comes to trades, right? He fleeced the Kings for De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
He got a decent haul for DeJounte Murray. I would never say a great haul. It was decent.
Decent haul. Yeah.
He got something for – he got rid of contracts for Zach Collins. He got rid of Trey Jones. All that stuff, right? But when it comes to the draft, he only hits on the sure thing.
Yeah. We got
Wemby number 1 in 2023.
Yeah.
Castle number 4 in 2024. Those were no-brainers. Dylan Harper number 2 is a no-brainer. And somebody on Twitter was like, well, he needs to be given love for that. For what? He did a no-brainer move. He was on auto draft, Joe. But you give him you ask him to draft somebody at 9, he goes, you know what? I'll take that Jeremy Sohan kid. He has no offensive game, no shot. He is quote-unquote raw. And I'll take him over Jalen Williams, even though Jalen Williams' brother plays in the NBA.
Or Halliburton.
If Jalen Williams can shoot, right?
Yeah,
We'll take Devin Vassell, who's had a decent career, but Halliburton is an all-star, right?
Yeah.
And someone was like, oh, well, half the league passed on Jalen Williams. Dude, Jalen Williams was literally the next forward drafted behind Jeremy Sohan.
Yeah. We got
The
Jeff
next
on
one.
standby. We got Jeff on standby. He's ready to join us. But before we bring him in,
real fast. Let's do the super chats real fast because we have a couple more.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
There you go.
Sam Selena says, admit it, Mike. $5 super chat. Says, admit it, Mike. You did the analytics and found out the show gets super chats when you talk about Sohan, you cheeky bastard.
We got another one coming in from the Drew Show here. So there we go.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Drew Show coming in with another $5. Man, this is great.
Yeah.
Says, so Mike, Embiid gets plus 35 power because Wemby isn't 24 years old or 21 like D-Rob and Timmy. Nonsense. You really believe in your jibba jabba. LOL. Okay, so here's the thing. Again, I will give Wemby another year or two to have, as Joe likes to say, have his balls drop a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? That is the time that is needed because he's 21 years old. He now has a good point guard in De'Aaron Fox. He has a competent shooting guard who was rookie of the year in Stephon Castle. Now they have Dylan Harper. They have people around him now. They got the Toyota Corolla and Harrison Barnes. It is now time for Wemby to step up because even though I say he is younger, and I agree with you, Drew, fact of the matter is that he entered the league voluntarily. And he's 3 years into a 4-year rookie deal. The balls need to drop, and Wemby needs to get his ass down low. And, Joe, we are joined by Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Man, I like the avatar. He has never looked any better. Jeff Garcia, how are you doing today, my man?
Well, I'm smiling right now because you made me laugh. You noticed the avatar. But also, I got a bone to pick with you. You just ghosted me when I invited you to Locked On today.
Oh, dude, man, I had so much going on yesterday. I apologize, man.
Ghosted me, everybody. Ghosted me.
Well, Jeff's
Uh,
ghosted me too. He hasn't even asked me to be on ever since.
Dude, how can you get
Forgot
ghosted?
about me.
How can you get ghosted if you don't get asked? I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I don't exist anymore. Apparently,
No,
Jeff
no,
doesn't
you
want
do.
me back.
You know what it is? It's not that I don't want to invite you, Joe, because I do. It's just I just feel like every time I text you, it's like, oh my god, he's gonna tell me he can't do it or something like that. Like I get all like,
I can go on, but I tell you, I can go on in the mornings. Like 8:30 ish, 9:00.
you can't do audio only during the day, like no video.
No, man, my work,
figured you
what
would
I'm
do it.
doing right now, Jeff. I mean, I'm too damn busy, dude. When I'm in work mode, I'm locked in, dude. I don't even see nobody here in the house. No one could come into my office when I'm at work, dude.
Yeah, but
I'm
you're
like,
just doing audio though. You just imagine you're just talking on your cell phone.
yeah, no, I can't, dude. I'm too
Dang.
busy at work. I'm way
Yeah.
too busy right now.
Hey,
Dang.
Jeff, we've been talking a lot
All
about
right,
the
well,
Spurs right now.
okay.
And I did.
I don't mean to cut you off real fast. Just want to finish up with Joe there. All right, so then, how does work for you next week?
That's fine as long as we do like 8:30 and 9:00. I'm good, man.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I had it stuck in my head. You only could do 8 in the morning.
No, 8:30, 9:00. We're good.
8:30, 9 o'clock. All right, let's shoot for that then. Then I'll let you know what date. But I would invite Jimenez, but he doesn't. He ignores all my texts.
Well, it was the day after coming back from another vacation, and I had to go spend the 1099s, and I go to Nevada to go gambling. And Jeff, I come back with more money than I took. It was a free vacation.
You came out with a positive.
Came out of the positive. I won all 3 days. I was out there on the slot machines and playing blackjack.
So now that you
And
want
I
the
hit-
money,
And
you
I hit
take Jeff out?
I hit my Shea Gilgeous-Alexander parlay on top of that, man.
So what was the parlay?
It was plus 29.5 points, plus 7.5 assists, and he ended up with 34 and 8.
Nice.
And that was a good plus 170 hit. I put put like 120 down on that, 110 down on that. It was a pretty good hit. But Jeff, we are $62 in super chats today.
Yeah,
the big question, are we going to hit 100? Because, swing for the fences.
Yeah.
And this doesn't go to me. This goes to the show. This goes to Joe Garcia.
We put it back into the show. We get you some nice things, headsets and things that we can use for the show, headphones and the little sound audio bites and all that stuff. That's where it's going.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
Joe, you always seem to find all the deals. I noticed that about you. You always tell me, or you'll text me. You're like, "Hey, I found this today on sale. I went here, and this was on sale."
Yeah. But I don't buy the cheap stuff. I buy the good stuff, but I find it at a good deal,
Oh, I always thought you were just getting like maybe like the not secondhand, but like the latest, like not the newest version of things.
No,
like,
I get the latest stuff, man. I don't believe in buying cheap. If you're gonna buy something, make sure you're gonna buy it at a good price, but make sure it's gonna last.
Well, what about that thing you texted me the other day? That new gaming console you texted me about. You I forgot what it was. I think it was a handheld one.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I bought. The Game Boy.
The Game Boy, that's right.
Yeah. That one is.
Was that the OG one?
No, it looks like the OG one, but it's souped up. You can play all the old school games, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, everything all the way up to like Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, PSP, a whole bunch of stuff on there, man.
What did that set you back?
I think it paid like maybe $80, something like that for it. Just something I saw and I've been wanting it for a while. Pulled the trigger.
Nice. Hey, July 26th is coming in, Jeff, with a very, very interesting question. Because we were talking about how DraftKings has the Spurs as the heavy favorite now to get Kevin Durant. And we saw Bill Simmons on the Ringer talking about how he believes that it's a done deal, or that he wouldn't be surprised, he said, that it's a done deal, that it'll be announced the week of the draft. We're 2 weeks away from the NBA draft. Do you think that the Durant coming to San Antonio is a done deal? And the second question is, if it's not, give me the odds that it does happen.
I'm going to say it's not, and the odds are, I wouldn't put the Spurs ahead, like at the top of the pack, as that betting site does. I would have them maybe third on that list. I still think if Phoenix is going to do right by the organization to get the best deal, then I think Houston probably can give them the better deal.
I agree with you when it comes to players. I think the question is, what does the Phoenix Suns, what do they covet the most? Do they covet the players, or do they covet the picks? because I think the Spurs got the better haul of picks to offer.
I think the players, because you'll still have Booker, and do you really want to have that conversation with Booker? Like, hey, buddy, you're about to enter your prime, but we're going to do a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
I think you lean towards a player in that situation.
We've been talking a lot about Jeremy Sohan. You posted that video at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can also catch it on Kens5.com. It's a 15-second clip. It shows him knocking down 3 shots. Okay. Should Spurs fans get excited about that? Did you see something different about the shooting form?
Oh, yeah.
What did you take out of that 15-second clip?
One, I don't think you take much of it because it is just in a gym. It's an empty gym, and we'll see how that translates into an NBA game. So first off of that. 2, I think Spurs fans should just be happily optimistic that at least he's aware of the problem and he's trying to correct it. Now, I know he's been trying to correct it for how many years now, but he at least from that quick clip, he shot it with confidence. The form didn't look all funky. Remember last year it looked weird. You know what? It was like borderline, like who was that player, Joe, that used to shoot with the shot?
Matrix, Sean Marion. But you know what?
Yeah, it was like a shot.
Sohan's hitch looked like Elaine dancing from Seinfeld, man.
Yeah. that little quirk seemed to be gone. But hey, that's just in an empty gym. We'll see what it translates into real NBA regular season, preseason game. So, but I think Spurs fans should be just optimistic. I want to put the expectations super high. We'll see how it translates. Because remember, he's not going to have that many touches for himself being called with Harper, possibly Castle, Fox, Wemby. So there's that. So there's only one ball, Joe, Mike. So we'll see what happens.
You mentioned Dylan Harper. The NBA draft is 2 weeks from tonight. You were mentioning on social media today that the Spurs have announced their viewing party. What can people do?
View the draft. Go out there to the Rock. Enjoy it with Spurs fans. We'll see who they'll pick. It's obvious. Well, as of now, they'll pick Harper. But Joe, how come I can envision a world where Dallas goes Harper number 1? Like, doesn't that make more sense for Dallas?
Nah, they're going to go ahead. When you get at the number 1 pick, they're going to go ahead and pick the best available player. And to them, that's probably not going to be Harper.
Isn't the best available player for them a guard?
You would think so. But you're talking about Dallas, man. I don't think they're going to go ahead and pull the rug out from the Spurs. I think Harper's going to go to the Spurs. And, more than likely, Dallas is going to go ahead and get Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper
well, as you're showing on the screen there, just partying, just as you see food, drinks. They got a DJ out there. I know the media will be there too, but we'll be in. You can't miss us. We're in a big open window room. You'll see all of us kind of crammed in there, facing outside, and then we'll see what they do. But hopefully, it's a early night because just because the Spurs make the pick. By the time they let the media get in, it could be like hours later, and we're just sitting there.
Yeah, well, so they're gonna let legit media in, right? No AI merchants.
Hey, Mike, Joe, I was gonna ask you about that. Is it just me or more Spurs fans coming out as having sources? Is it just me?
Sauces.
You noticing
That's
that?
what we call them, sauces.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because we saw Dylan Harper's dad, former NBA player, 5-time champion Ron Harper, get in on the mix by saying that these are lies and things like that. And it's just one of those things where it's just stupid, right?
You know what
the
it
parody
is.
accounts.
You know what it is, Jeff? It's that everybody wants that clout, and it's the thing that I try to tell everyone. And you being a member of the media, everybody gets their sources from the San Antonio Spurs when it comes through from the same places, right?
Yeah.
Unless your name is Shams, you don't have an inside source because you have to pay a lot of money for those sources. There's no shame in just trying to, report something or just have a take on, information that's coming out. It doesn't always mean that you have to be the guy. Oh, I know sources. I'm embedded with the NBA. And no, you're not. If you did, you would be on the 4-letter networks. You would be Shams. You're not.
Well, and part of the problem is, Joe, and I don't know if this is
Mike froze on us. We're still here. Mike's frozen.
Yeah, but how about a Mike though?
I don't know. He froze.
Look at his face.
Look at his face. Yeah, it's funny.
Why does it look like his stomach is hurting? Like he's about to throw up. Look at that.
Look at that. Wang Bang. They're Eric Zhang, they're going ahead and referencing because he was one of the guys that was just putting stuff out there just for fun, and everybody just came against him. But we're talking about
What gets me though is that Spurs fans they like fall for it. They think if fill in the blank Spurs fan Twitter says, "I heard that the Spurs are going to trade for Giannis," they treat it like gospel.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Mike. Mike's shy now. He's not on camera. We'll have to bring him in later
Are there
on.
storms coming in right now, or is that what's going on?
I don't know. I don't think there's any storms over in Conroe right now. But I don't
he's
even
in
know.
Conroe. Oh, sorry, I thought it was in San Antonio.
No, Jeff. He's over in Conroe. But you're gonna go ahead and report. And after the Spurs announce who they're gonna pick, you're gonna be one of the reporters or the media that's out there talking. Probably to the Spurs bigwigs. You're gonna be talking to Brian Wright and everybody else in regards to the reaction to said player that they pick at number 2. And probably, hopefully, at number 14 they get their pick. If not, we're gonna hear some big news, maybe about the Spurs making a trade or a deal before the NBA draft. So
You think
we'll
this
see.
is a case of where there's smoke, there's fire?
I think so. You've been hearing a lot of chatter lately, and everybody's been saying they've been putting the Spurs and Kevin Durant together, and I'm sure that's what you've been hearing and reporting on as well, because there's been a lot of rumors abound, going out there, but we'll have to see. And what were you saying, Mike? Because you froze on us.
Oh yeah. By the way, it is pouring, and as DeDrusha says from the Woodlands, says the weather is terrible right now in Montgomery County, which is where I'm at right now. I just saw that the movie Twister. The pig, the cow just flew away. No, what I was talking about when it comes to sources or sources, we all hear things. I'm sure Jeff does. I'm sure Pledger does. I'm sure Minix and Ryan Nagel. We all hear things about Primo, about things like Pop's health, or about a potential trade, or whatever the case. We hear it all the time. We just can't report it because we can't confirm it.
Exactly.
Those Spurs don't confirm anything. So, like, Pop's health, I knew a little bit more than I let on. Why?
Yeah.
People told me. People told me in the know, but I couldn't confirm it, so I'm not going to go out there and just spout crap.
You want to talk about how tight-lipped the Spurs are? So y'all know that Sohan is having a quick, it's super quick meet and greet with fans today, right?
Yeah.
So I was told what's going to happen like hours before it was officially announced. This is how tight-lipped they were. I didn't get the details until 2 seconds before it was official. Also, how can I say this without saying it? They let me say that this is how tight-lipped they are about how it'll happen come rain or shine. Even that was like quiet for a while. Like even that simple question was just tight-lipped. So it's a vault there, man. It's a vault. So when people say they have sources inside the organization, the stories I can tell you from ex-employees of the Spurs organization would just blow your mind, but I can't talk about them.
Look at this, Mike. One of our listeners used the media share to send us the picture of you frozen.
Yeah, Textbooks Frank says Mike throbbed himself out of the conversation. So I think that makes perfect sense. Hey, ESPN.com released its latest mock draft. This is Jonathan Givony. I follow Jonathan Givony. He's a legit reporter when it comes to the NBA. And he has number 1 overall being Cooper Flagg. That's going to be a certainty. You're right, Joe. The better fit for them is Dylan Harper. But that would be like the movie Draft Day when they picked Vontae Mack, Kevin Costner's character, when that was not the player that was number 1 on the board. Number 1 player on the board. And I'll be honest with you. Dylan Harper isn't a fit for the Spurs either. But guess what? You pick talent. You take the best talent and you figure it out. They have ESPN Jonathan Givony, Cooper Flagg going number 1 overall to the Dallas Mavericks. They have the Spurs taking Dylan Harper, but they said that the best player, the best fit for the Spurs, Givony says, is Con Knipple from Duke.
Yeah.
That is the best fit, but that's not what the Spurs are going to do. The Spurs are going to go get Dylan Harper because he has the best value.
And looking at the first and second pick, it's flipped. Harper makes sense for Dallas, and Flagg makes sense for Spurs.
Most definitely. At 14, the Spurs saying that Carter Bryant is the biggest need, the best player to fit that need. And I will tell you this, Joe. I will tell you this, Jeff. If the Spurs draft Carter Bryant, I'm going to be effing pissed off. I don't like those who look good just in their underwear. With the underwear Olympics being the combine.
I lost you, Mike. What are you trying to get at? Like I lost.
What I'm trying to get at is, okay, he played 37 games. He's a 6'6", 6'8" shooting guard, rather. Played for Arizona, right? He was a bench player who averaged 6 points per game and 4 rebounds. He was somebody who couldn't shoot. But he's got those intangibles, man. He looks good at the combine. You know, he has the wingspan. All that. But you know what? He never did it in a game. And every mock draft has Carter Bryant going in the top 15. Worst case scenario, top 20. Why? He didn't do anything in the game. You know what this reminds me of? Trey Lance in the NFL. Right? You go like, oh, well, he's got the arm strength. You know, he's got the size. He's got all that stuff. But you know what he didn't have? He didn't have the reps. He didn't have the snaps. And Carter Bryant, for all the prognosticators out there going, man, he fits that need. He could be the next Danny Green. He could be the next whatever. I'm like, dude, in what world? Okay, let's go through his stats, right? He averaged 19 minutes per game. So he didn't even play half a game. Half a game is 20 minutes. He played 19 minutes per game. He shot 4 attempts per game and made almost 2. Shot 46% from the field. He shot 37% from 3, but he only attempted 2 per game, 2 or 3 per game. 69% free throw shooter. And I'm supposed to be excited about this? What am I missing about Carter Bryant? Everyone's in love with him. The intangibles. He's 6'8". He went to the wrong school. He went to what? Dude, shut the hell up, man.
So who'd you have at 14 then?
Asa Newell from Georgia. That's who I would take. Take him in a heartbeat, man. And you know what? Everyone's like, well, you know what? He has the same DNA as Jeremy Sohan. He's the same type of player. Well, guess what? We're going to need to replace that kind of player next year because Sohan's going to be a restricted free agent. We may have to replace Sohan. But we'd love to replace him with Asa Newell. That's who I would take at 14.
Interesting. Yeah. I still don't think the Spurs keep 14. I think they trade it.
I hope so, too.
Yeah, I think they're going to trade it. This is very similar to last year. Remember, it was almost the same situation. 4 pick and what was it, 13 or something like that? And they traded it to Minnesota.
Oh, no, we had 4 and 8. Yeah.
4 and 8. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So, but the point is, I think they'll trade one of them, not number 2, so that leaves number 14.
Jeff, let's show some love to MCS General Contracting. They got that logo behind you. They have that diamond hard concrete. And we'll be joined again by Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs on the other side. We'll talk about the NBA Finals, Game 3 tonight. Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll get Jeff's analysis on that on the other side.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Yeah, MCS General Contracting, home of that diamond hard concrete, home of the phrase F them picks. You can give them a call at 210-774-9155. 210-774-9155 for that diamond hard concrete, whether it be residential, business, government related. We saw video of them earlier this week doing a slab of a home. We saw them doing government work over at Randolph Air Force Base recently. They do a fantastic job. I've posted photos in the past of my own house where they did a sidewalk and a concrete patio extension. Fantastic job. They did it right. 210-774-9155. And Jeff, I see you in the back changing your avatars. What's going on?
He's having too much fun right now, man.
Too much fun with this. Way too much fun with this.
Oh, you know what, Jeff? I need to send you the picture that one of our viewers sent us of Mike's frozen face. We'll add that one to the mix as well.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll put that to the mix. Yeah, we'll put Mike's frozen face there.
July 26th saying Jeff is showing off his Mike memorabilia. Hey, you know what, Joe? Let's show me some love, man. You know my number 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369. These guys know that's my cell number. Why do I give my cell number out? It's because I am a financial guy. I do it in shorts and a t-shirt, wearing Spurs jerseys. Sometimes I wear a suit. But if you have questions about retirement accounts, life insurance, disability, long-term care, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, guess what? I do all of that and more. 210-508-0369. 19 years in business. Guess how many complaints I've ever had? 0. That's federal government related. Go to brokercheck.org. Look up Michael Jimenez in San Antonio, Texas. You'll see my experience. You'll see the number of complaints, which is 0. They're called disclosures. So if you have questions about an old 401k and you want an IRA, you have an existing one. You want to move it over. You have existing auto and homeowner insurance. Want to move it on over. I can help you out. 210-508-0369. Joined by Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Tonight we have Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The series goes to Indiana. You saw the fact that the Pacers stole Game 1 in Oklahoma City. Joe was super excited. Oklahoma City comes back, opens up a can of whoop ass and beats up on Indiana. Held Halliburton in check. Tonight is Game 3. It's in Indiana. I don't know if Caitlin Clark's going to be there or not, but Caitlin Clark, they're undefeated when she's in the house. Joe, Jeff, who you got tonight?
Joe, you want to go first? Or you want me to go
I'll
first?
I'll go first. I go ahead. I'm going to say that the Indiana Pacers are going to come out and they're going to win one on the home court. They're going to win the first game. I think they're going to split, but I think they're going to get the first one. So I pick Indiana to win this one.
I'm going with you, Joe. I'm going to go with Indiana. I think it's going to be another nail biter, though.
Yeah.
So I think I'll go down the wire. But right off the bat, I got to say, I have been very disappointed in Halliburton. Where's he been? Even in that Game 1 win, he didn't shoot the ball well. Game 2, he was a non-factor. The Thunder are doing a heck of a job on him defensively. He needs to step up for Indiana because I think if Indiana loses tonight, I'm going to say the series might be a wrap.
Yeah, I think the series is already over, Joe. Jeff, I've been calling from the beginning. It is the Thunder in 5. I don't care if Indiana won Game 1, 2, 3, or 4. It was going to be over in 5. I will say this much. Oklahoma City goes in there tonight and not only wins tonight's game, but kicks their ass by 12 or more. I would say, and Jonathan C. is listening on the show, he's been winning some money off of my predictions. Take the alternative spread, lay down at least 9.5 points when it comes to it all. And tonight, by the way, Oklahoma City is favored by 5.5. So Vegas thinks that Oklahoma City is going to win. I think it's going to be beyond that spread. I think they win by double digits. I'm going to call a 12-plus point victory for Oklahoma City tonight. SGA goes off for 38 and 12. I think he's going to have a huge game. The Halliburton's going to be put back in check. Indiana's probably going to do well the first quarter and a half. Crowd's going to be all amped up. But Caitlin Clark's going to go home crying. By the way, where's Caitlin Clark been, man? She was injured for 2 weeks, but it's been 3, and she still hasn't come back.
She's on vacation, man. Maybe she's more injured than she let on.
Quad injury. She was supposed to come back over the weekend, didn't. So no.
I still pick I pick Oklahoma City Thunder to lose this game, not to win it. I picked the Indiana Pacers to win it. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think the Pacers will have to come from behind to win with last-minute heroics, but they're going to get it done. If the Pacers win both games on the home court, Mac, it's over, man.
It's a wrap.
6.
In a best-of-7 series, the better team always wins.
You said the Pacers win? It's a wrap?
If the Pacers win tonight and then they win, if they win not only tonight, but they win both of these games on their home court, it's a wrap, man.
A wrap. I don't know. Let's just have fun here. What if the Pacers are the NBA champs? Would this be considered one of the greatest upsets in finals history?
I think
it would be. It would be. Well, I mean, in one respect, yes, because of the record disparity between the two.
68 and 14,
right.
Oklahoma City.
It's a 14-game disparity. The fact that Oklahoma City also had like the all-time best point differential. They were beating teams by 12 points or more for the season. They were going into this playoff series winning by like almost 20 points per game. it would be an upset. But the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, guess who's the youngest team in the NBA? The youngest team in the NBA is still Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So that would stop me from saying it'd be the biggest upset. It's because it's not like they're playing, a tough Lakers team of the 90s or a tough Bulls or Pistons teams of the 80s or 90s or the Warriors or whatnot. They're playing a young up-and-coming team that is trying to get their first chip.
I got to go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was going to say, we had some fun with this this topic on Lockdown Spurs recently. Let me pose this question to both of you guys. If you could look into a crystal ball, will the Spurs emerge as the Thunder's main rival in the West, or is it still Minnesota, Houston, maybe Denver?
I'll give you my opinion. I got to say that the Spurs are still at least a year or two away from being legit contenders. I think that the other teams that you just named, Minnesota and let's say the Rockets, are better. Even the Denver Nuggets at this point are better than the San Antonio Spurs.
But we're looking at long term. Which team has the most long term viability to be the Thunder's chief rival? Rockets,
I think the Spurs have
Thunder's chief rival or the Spurs.
I guess the Thunder. They're the top dogs right now. So we'll say the Thunder's biggest rival then.
All right, Joe, go ahead and answer. I apologize for interrupting.
No, I said I think right now that the Spurs have that opportunity if they can go ahead and draft well, maybe make some trades and add some additions here to the team that can go ahead and solidify the issues that they have, such as the shooting from beyond the arc, the 3-point shooting, and also they need to defend the wing well. They need a 3-and-D type of player and a bucket getter. They just need some players that can knock down a consistent bucket. So if they can go ahead and address some of those issues, they're going to be a well-rounded team. Currently, as constructed, they're only got a starting 5. Beyond that, they don't have much of a deep bench. And I think the disparity there is that they're not a very deep team, so they're not going to be able to compete at that high level, that next level.
I question who the Spurs rival is going to be. A lot of Spurs fans think that the Lakers are rivals, and maybe for a 2 or 3 year stretch back in the day, and Tim and Kobe's heyday, maybe that was the case. But the Lakers thought the Kings were their rivals for a while. They have forever thought the Celtics. The Spurs have been rivalry-less for a while, ever since we started losing. I would say the Spurs' biggest rival is Houston, but on the court, I think we're looking at Oklahoma City. Because you got to measure yourself with the best, and Oklahoma City is the best as of right now. It'll change, though, when Kevin Durant becomes a Spur. I am more and more optimistic about that. I think it's you said we talk about percentages. I think it's a 75% chance.
Our listener here, Mike Jonathan C, who's been making money off of your predictions, is saying, Mike, over under on Halliburton on points. Thoughts?
I would set it at 21. His over under in the game 2 was 19.5, and I believe he had 17. So I think he's going to have some home cooking, do a little bit better. I think Indiana will play very well first quarter and probably halfway through the second quarter. I think the wheels will come off, and then Oklahoma City will just roll through them at that point.
And we got a super chat incoming here from Jason Garcia. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate you, man. He says, pick one, black licorice or candy corn.
Neither. The answer will always be nerds.
Nerds.
It's always the grape one. But thank you so much, Jason, for the super chat. We also have $10 coming in from Sean Quintero, letting us know that over at PF Chang's at La Cantera,
nice,
half off bottles of wine today at the PF Chang's at La Cantera. They do a fantastic job over there.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
some good food, man. That's some good food.
Good food at PF Chang's at La Cantera. Not only that, but Sean Quintero does a great job of managing the place. So if you see him working there, tell him that Joe sent you from the Area 210 podcast.
Yeah. Again, half price bottles of wine today. Very nice. Hey, PF Chang's or Cheesecake Factory? Choose your fighter.
I'll go with PF Chang's, man, because my boy works there, Sean.
Well, even if he wasn't there, I'd choose PF Chang's as well, man. There's something about Cheesecake Factory that I do not like. It just icks me, man.
You know what I do like that's next, though, to the Cheesecake Factory at La Cantera? Whiskey Cake. Whiskey Cake is a damn good place to eat, man.
I tried the whiskey cake one time, and I don't even remember it. Like,
No,
was it any good?
it was really good, man. Get the fish and chips, bro.
Jeff, who you choosing, man? Between Cheesecake Factory. Well, here's the thing about Jeff doesn't make his way over to La Cantera
No.
unless he's working. Unless he's working at the Rock.
Stop. I would go with PF Chang's.
There you go.
PF
Again,
Chang's,
half
yeah.
price
And then-
bottles.
And then what was the other question? Nerds or peanuts?
Nerds
Okay,
and
so-
Circus peanuts candy is what they're saying.
Oof. Give me the circus peanuts candy.
Oh, those are nasty, bro. They smell like plastic.
Jeff, what was the
They're
last
like
movie
at
you
the
went
dollar
to?
store all the time.
Yeah.
What was the last
Oh,
movie you went to? And did you sneak candy in?
No, I didn't sneak candy in. The last movie I went to go see was Thunderbolts.
Okay. The
What about you?
Thunderbolts, I enjoyed it. I didn't not like it. I thought it was funny.
Hey, speaking of movies, I highly recommend this movie. You're missing out. Magazine Dreams. Go see that movie. It's already streaming right now. It is
Where?
awesome movie.
Where's
I
it streaming?
I believe it's on Max. Max
And what's
or
it called?
Prime.
Magazine Dreams?
Magazine Dreams. Now, it's still with the actor Jonathan Majors, who's got all like in trouble, but this is like one of those last movies he made before all the drama happened with him. I mean, you're not gonna be able to breathe because this movie is so intense. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be like standing up in your seat and just applauding. Magazine Dreams. That's a great movie.
Look at this. Mexican Junior said he went to go see Ballerina over the weekend. That's a new spin-off for the John
help me
Wick
out with
series.
that, Joe. Is it John Wick is in it?
John Wick is in there. It's a spin-off from the John Wick series.
Hmm.
He said it was amazing. I've seen that people have gone to the theater and they're like, they had the whole theater to themselves, literally watching the film. So it didn't debut very well. It lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you know what? I got to tell you guys again, one film that I've been very excited about that I got to see Thursday or Friday of last week was the new Predator film that came out on Hulu.
Yep.
Killer of Killers.
Killer of
Man, that
Killers.
was so good.
Hey,
So
let me
good.
ask you something, Joe. If they're all about the hunt and they make it very clear in the final act, if the hunt is about fighting the best, then why did the king leave the lady alive if she is the best?
I think what happens there is that they probably have some type of Cree. So you can't kill somebody who's already killed a predator
But she's
unless
the
it's going to
best,
be
though.
battle.
But she's the best.
Unless it's in battle though. You know, he
But
can't
that's
just
still-
go.
The battle was still going on, wasn't it?
But it wasn't with him though. The battle
Hmm.
wasn't really with him. They were trying to escape. She made a sacrifice at the end to go ahead and save her comrades. Maybe he found that commendable and was like, you know what? If we're not fighting in the arena and it's just us, one-on-one, then we're gonna go ahead and put you back,
But Joe, but the challenge to the crew was whoever wins,
Mhm.
your prize is fighting the best, which was him at the top.
Yeah, but we don't want to give too much away because I'm
Yeah,
gonna go ahead and ruin this for everybody.
yeah.
But either way, I want you all to go and see Killer of Killers and stay for the end credit scene. You're gonna be
floored.
really surprised
Yeah.
at the end. But I think it gave a good insight on the way that the Predator society works, and how they are.
And I think they
Almost like a
finally showed
gladiator mindset.
And I think they finally showed
we-
women predators right at the end.
We have people already complaining that you guys are giving away too much of the movie. By the way, so
That's what I'm telling
just
Jeff.
reel-
Jeff
just reel-
I
reel this
did
in.
not. But first of all, I did not give up the whole thing. Trust me, Joe. You know,
gave up the whole thing
I
already.
did not give up the whole thing. There's a lot more intricacy.
Woo!
detail.
No, but you all got to go see it, man. It's good. It's free right now. You can go ahead and stream it on Hulu if you have it. I enjoyed it a lot, so go ahead and take a look at that.
Okay, but here's the thing: is it better than Terminator Zero?
Yeah, I think it is, Jeff. I think Killer of Killers is a lot better.
I think Terminator Zero still is a
Terminator Zero. I saw it, but that was a slow burn, man.
But it was so damn good, though.
It was a slow burn, bro. This one is more action packed from the get go.
Jimenez, you really gotta get into this genre. Some of the movies are actually pretty good. I think you
I
would
don't
like
watch
Killer.
cartoons. He doesn't
I
play
think
with
you would
anime.
like Killer of Killers, and I think you would like Zero. I think you would like Zero.
Well, I mean, you're talking about Predator, and I saw the Predator movies growing up, so I did not like them. I didn't like them. I did not like them. I was just kind of like, it was entertaining, it was. But do I want to go deep into the lore of it all?
Yeah, man, it's cool.
Mexican
Man.
Junior says Jimenez looks asleep.
They're gonna wait for Badlands. Jimenez looks asleep. I'm picking out Ballerina tonight.
You guys,
Look at that.
you guys nerded out, and I was like, I have no idea what any of
Hey,
y'all
hey,
are
hey,
talking
real
about.
quick, because we're talking about like aliens right now with Predator and all that stuff. In terms
Yeah.
of this weekend, I'm hosting the first ever terror convention in San Antonio.
Nice.
The first one. So you get to meet the original Jason guy, actor, stuntman who played the mask and the hockey mask and the machete. Machete is going to be there on Sunday. He's the final panelist. Danny Trejo. You're going to have, get this, and guess who I start off with on day one on Saturday?
Oh,
Mira Sorvino.
nice.
Yeah.
Romy from Romy and Michelle's high school.
Yep. So apparently a lot of people that I know are going to go. A couple of people that work in the media room with me, they found out I'm hosting it. They're like, oh, can we go? I'm like, yeah, you can go. So it's a big deal, man. It's the first one in San Antonio, the first ever TerrorCon. So a lot of the Spooky World movies are going to be featured there. Chucky. Remember the original Chucky and the little boy who played, I guess at that he's no longer a little boy anymore. And help me remember this. Was the girl in that, was that the sister of the little boy or the babysitter?
From where?
From the first Chucky. Remember she was a blonde girl. She had short hair. Anyway,
the babysitter.
She's going to be there. So
yeah.
By the way, the best line in a Chucky movie will forever be Jennifer Tilly asking the question, "Do you have a rubber?" And Chucky says, "Baby, I'm all rubber."
Mike, why do you keep doing this to yourself, bro? You're just giving him fuel for the fire, man. Like, man, Mike.
Hey, hey. Jimenez, you realize you do this to yourself sometimes, right?
Jeez, man.
What do I do? All I'm doing is just talking about Chucky. I want to be part of the conversation. You guys are nerding out. That's the only thing I remember from Chucky.
Oh my God, dude. Mike's got to always weird it up, bro. Like, come on out of nowhere. Well, they said, wasn't that the mom they're talking about from the first Child's Play?
Yeah. Well,
maybe.
Circling back to this whole Kevin Durant stuff and the Spurs, the more I think about it, I'm starting thinking like, well, will it happen? I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's happened. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't be surprised. It makes sense somewhat because aren't you basically getting Chris Paul all over again, veteran, but a Chris Paul with a little bit more firepower under his wing.
A Chris Paul type of player to mentor Wemby, though. I mean that's basically it. Castle got to benefit from having Chris Paul to learn from, to play against, to play with, and maybe that rubs off of Durant to Wemby. I mean that the Wemby wants to play like him, and it's funny. I mentioned something earlier in the show before you got on, Jeff. The trajectory of the Spurs having to pick Dylan Harper number 2 because they're not going to go get Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey is a better fit for this team right now. Cooper Flagg's a better fit for this team right now. But you go after talent, and the all-star talent on this team and the player that's ready to play right now is Dylan Harper. So you look at that, and you have a roster that has De'Aaron Fox, a roster that has Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper, possibly Vassell, especially if they go out and get Durant and can keep the number 2 pick. Doesn't that say that Wemby needs to go down low? Because who's going to be playing down low? Is it going to be Harper?
Nope.
No. Is it going to be Castle? No. Someone's going to have to play down low because there's too much talent on the perimeter. And it's like, Wemby, get your 7'6" ass down low. By the way, do you believe that he's 7'6" now?
I don't know. I think sometimes he manipulates photos because, well, and I won't say like literally photoshops them, but because remember during the French Olympic run, him and Rudy Gobert had this like gag going with photos. Like Rudy Gobert would like bend down a bit and Wemby would tippy toe. So I think sometimes he's just having fun with it, but wouldn't be surprised, because I guess, when do bones stop growing when you're a kid? Like when you're 18, 19, right?
No,
Well,
you can go into
David
your
Robinson.
20s.
In your 20s,
Yeah.
David Robinson was 6'4" going into the Naval Academy, and I believe at 21 became 7'1".
Dang.
We got an incoming report here by Sham Sharnaya. It says ESPN is reporting the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner, Rich Kleiman, are sorting through trade options with interested teams mainly featuring Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, and New York.
Of those 4 teams, I would narrow it down to Houston and San Antonio.
Isn't it funny, Jeff, that Spurs fans who get so pissed off and ticked off and angry about the 2 games a year that get played at the Moody Center in Austin are like, we get Kevin Durant, let's dangle the fact that they played 2 games in Austin, where he was a UT star back in the day. Do you find that to be funny? And do you think that plays any role of him wanting to come back to Texas?
Yeah.
If that's a possibility.
Yeah, he has an interest in Austin because he's trying to bring a WNBA team to the city there. So there's that. I just think it's just the more I just talk it out and just look at everything, like when you, Joe, you put that Shams report up there right now. It just feels like it's down to Houston and San Antonio, whoever puts the best deal together.
We also have breaking news from Jeff Garcia here. Kind of.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, you know that Wemby is part of the Fan Fest or Fanatics Fest, and he's going to be going there in June in my old home, New York City. But Kevin Hart, his show, where they place themselves in that ice bucket thing?
Yeah.
That he's going to be doing that with Kevin Hart. So, you know what? I always said that David Robinson was the most marketable Spur. It looks like Wemby's going to just shatter that.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, you also know when his times are changing in San Antonio. A, when you have their megastar just all about the limelight. B, when you have your head coach do a TikTok shout out to fans. That freaked me out. I said, Pop would have never, ever done that. But Mitch Johnson did that.
Got an incoming super chat from the Drew Show
Here
here,
comes
Mike.
the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, he says having De'Aaron Fox and drafting Dylan Harper is kind of like keeping Peyton Manning and still drafting Andrew Luck. I said kinda because Andrew Luck is way better than Harper. LOL. Thank you for the super chat, Drew. I got roasted, Jeff, when I said that Harper is probably going to be better than Castle.
You know what? We that's why I was a little late today because I was recording Locked On Spurs. That's actually the topic for tomorrow.
Really?
Could there be a world where Harper is a better rookie, just a rookie season? We're just focusing on the rookie season than Castle, and there's potential for that to happen.
Well, here's the thing. Harper could be the better rookie when you compare the two. That doesn't mean he's going to win Rookie of the Year because as you mentioned a lot on Spurs, Stephon Castle is the 3rd worst Rookie of the Year the last 25 years.
No, you mentioned that.
No, you said that, and I rephrased it. You said that, I rephrased it because what I did, I trapped you on that one, Jeff. I said, was he better than Wemby? No. Was he better than this? No. Was he better than this?
Yeah, okay,
and I went down the list, and you go, no. I said, so he's the 3rd worst because the only one that was like Brandon Jennings or whatever is like probably Malcolm Brogdon.
I forgot Brogdon was the Rookie of the Year. Dang.
Yeah, back in 2012, I believe. And I went through the list of 25. I said, so you're telling me that he's the 3rd worst Rookie of the Year the last 25 years? And you were like, no. I did not say that. And I just said process of elimination. I named you 25 Rookies of the Year, and you said that he was only better than 3. I got you, Jeff. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I put the words in your mouth.
You
But I'll say it.
I'll
say it. It was a weak draft class. This is a stronger draft class. This is a stronger draft class. Harper coming out of college is more refined than Castle, and Castle was already NBA ready. Castle was NBA ready day one. That's what I loved about Castle. This wasn't a Sohan situation where you got to teach somebody how to play offense or you got to teach somebody how to play one side of the ball. He is ready to go. Castle is ready to go from day one. That's why I liked him so much. Harper is the same thing. Harper is ready to go day one to be playing 28 minutes per game. He is ready.
Why does one have to be better than the other? Why can't they just both be good players for the San Antonio Spurs?
Because it's questionable as to whether they can coexist on the roster together.
Wemby and Vassell can't coexist on the same court together. They don't get that same production out of Wemby when Vassell is out on the court.
Two different players. One is
Oil and
7'4",
water, bro.
the other one's 6'6". No, Castle and Harper are literally both combo guards who are the same height. I think 6'5" versus 6'6". Castle's an inch taller. Castle is very good at defense and okay at offense, whereas Harper is kind of good at both. They're the same position, the same height, the same body style, the same mechanics. They're very similar players. Dylan Harper just has a higher ceiling. And that's the thing. Dylan Harper has the ability to have his dad to rely on.
Also, too, Harper is coming into a more of a ready-made team than maybe Castle did. Remember Fox was added midway through the season. Was there from jump, so he'll have a lot more eyes off him if he's on the court with those guys, so he could be able to produce more. Also, too, Harper's coming in of a more loaded class than Castle did. 3, what's going to hurt Harper is if the team stays relatively healthy for the entire season, then there's a world where he could probably just be coming off the bench for the rest of the season. Unless, and that's if Devin Vassell's still a Spur, Devin is willing to come off the bench. And then that changes everything.
Jeff, before we let you go, because the show's coming to an end, Jonathan Pettis reaches out and wants me to ask you a question.
No, I already answered it now. No, I saw it.
There's a TikTok trend going on.
No.
Where guys call other guys, and we saw Micah Parsons do this to head coach Brian Schottenheimer.
No.
And thoughts on calling your homies to tell them good night. I talked to Chica about this, Joe, about this last night. Chica was not impressed. She goes, people are really doing that? And Chica went off on this whole tangent about how people should embrace their embrace their masculinity and embrace their roles in society and stuff like that. She goes, I'm the girl. I'm feminine. I want to be taken care of. I want to look pretty. And you need to do this. And I'm like, I get it. I'm not saying that I'm doing it. I'm not calling Joe or Jeff at the end of the night to wish them good night.
Now you better not call me. I'll hang up on you. I'll call you mas puto, dude. Not just no.
Jeff, I've never FaceTime you, but one day I will, Jeff.
Well, good thing I don't have Apple, so iPhone.
Then I will instant message you somehow or another. I'll make it happen.
Don't do that, please.
No, you know what? You're right. I can't FaceTime you. But what I can do is Zoom with you.
Oh, no.
And see what you're eating in the background.
Well, I learned a lesson there. I'm going to turn off the camera.
Hey, by the way, oh, my God. Nick Mantis from KSAT 12.
Yeah.
He learned a couple of weeks ago that my daughter works there.
Yeah. You remember you telling me about that, man. That's a funny story, small world stuff.
Yeah, so me, Jeff, and Nick went out one night, and we tied one on.
No, that's an understatement.
So Nick is talking to my daughter at KSAT. My daughter is a digital journalist over there, and we'll take the stories of the reporters and flip them into a print format because there's a difference between the writing style of the news reporter or sports reporter compared to what it's like to read it newspaper style, AP style. And he was asking, say, hey, what college did you go to? And she goes, I went to LSU. And he was putting 2 and 2 together, the name Jimenez, LSU from San Antonio. And he was like, are you Mike's daughter? And she was like, yes. And I found that to be funny that Nick Mantis is working with my daughter. Steve Spreester works with my daughter closely. And Spreester, I was his editor in the late 90s. So it's kind of funny how it's all come around. Spreester says that seeing her walk around the newsroom makes him feel old. Spreester's been around since the mid-90s there at KSAT 12.
Yeah. We got to bring the show to an end here because Jack got to go.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for the invite, buddy.
Very
Appreciate you, Jeff.
a lot of people are doing the Mosput from George Lopez over here. Someone's requesting the chancla. Can we get a chancla
They
before we
didn't pay
go?
for the chancla.
Wow.
Bro, look at that. He's all about business.
All about business. No, but I'll give him the chancla, dude. We'll go ahead and do the chancla. We said goodbye to Jeff already.
Oh, Jeff, hey, thanks for being on the show today. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Follow him at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter and Threads, and also follow him at Kens5.com. I do on Spotify as well. Jeff does a fantastic job. Jeff, thank you for being on. Here's a chocolate in the show.
There you go.
I hope you get chocolate when it comes to Jeremy Sohan at the end of the year. I hope that I come back and go, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. The chances are I was right all along. Because why, Joe? When it comes to the Spurs, I bat 800, and Mario Cavazos is wanting to end the show with "Say it, Mike! Say it, Mike!" from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, I know damn well you're not going to say it. I can't even hear you.
Oh, I said it. Oh, you wanted a clear version of it all. From Silence of the Lambs, the best quote of that movie was Buffalo Bill, right?
Yeah.
Put it on makeup, looking in the mirror, and looks in the mirror and goes, "I'd fuck me."
No, God, dude.
There you go. There you go.
Mike, you know, Mario Cavazos is out there just laughing his ass off at you right now, bro. I can't believe you said that. God, man.
Great movie. You know what? I'm going to put it on in the background while I'm working. Silence of the Lambs. Classic from 1992, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Everyone have a fantastic day. We did the hour 30. Time for me to go sell some investments and insurances. Everyone have a fantastic day. Game 3 tonight. NBA Finals. Again, Thunder favored by 5.5. I say give 9.5. You'll be fine.
Look at Mexican Junior to end the show. He says Jimenez needs to do Goodbye Horses next karaoke.
What's that?
Oh my God! If you know, you know, man. I'll tell you later, bro.
What's Goodbye Horses? Do I have to Google that?
Oh, look at we got a $5 super chat incoming, man. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it. He goes, you guys believe in Harper so much, then trade Fox. He says, let the kid shine. That's the Peyton Andrew Luck analogy. Laugh out loud. You guys are dense.
Well, you can only play with one quarterback. Thank you for the super chat, Drew. You can only play with one quarterback in football, but you can play with multiple guards. You can play a 3-guard rotation, a 4-guard rotation. You can play a small ball. You can do all sorts of things. Yeah. What I do like about the Spurs players, though, is that they're not small. 6'6" in Stephon Castle, 6'5" in Dylan Harper, 6'4" in De'Aaron Fox. That's without shoes. They have some size to them to go along with Wemby's 7'4", to go along with a Sohan or Harrison Barnes. They have the size to play a 3-guard offensive set. And I'm cool with it, man. You have to have the best player available. Spurs are not in position to go off and draft for positional need. They're just not. And again, the NBA draft in 2 weeks.
There we go. So we're out.
See ya, brother.
See y'all tomorrow. Latest.